Welcome to this tutorial on importing quizzes with Excel. Importing from Excel is a way to speed up your quiz-making process. To get started, open up Quiz Express Studio. Then, navigate to File and to Import. Here you can see a button, Open Template. Press this button to get started. Here you can see several columns dedicated to their respective settings in Quiz Express. You can hover over the columns to see information about the setting. We will now briefly go over every setting. The Q in the first column stands for question. Here you can type the literal question that will be shown on the quiz slide. There are a couple of parameters you can adjust by adding a prefix to the question. Hover over Q to see all the options. For example, the text, A, are you enjoying this quiz night? Would import an audience response slide with the text, are you enjoying this quiz night? To the right, you can find the answer settings. Put the correct answer in A1 and the other answers in the other answer columns. These will be shuffled randomly when imported. Here is an example. Alternatively, if you want control over which answer is the correct one, you can put square brackets around the answer that you want to be correct in its column. Right next to the answers columns, you can see the category column. You can use a category to automatically graphically format the slides you import into a preferred style. Please watch our video on categories to learn exactly how they work. Next, you can set the slides pictures in columns P1 through P6 using the pictures file path. You can use a full path or just the file name. If you use just the file name, the picture has to be in the same folder as the Excel file. You can set the picture's label by including the label text after a semicolon. For example, Beatles.png, semicolon, The Beatles, Abbey Road. After the pictures, you can set notes for the slide. These are notes only the quizmaster can see when hosting a live quiz. When you continue, you can see the columns for sound and video. You can use a full path or just the file name. If you use just the file name, the file has to be in the same folder as the Excel file. The sound and video of a slide are embedded into the quiz file by default, so your quiz file could become very large. To prevent this, you can use the prefix L to link the media files instead of embedding them. When you link the file, the audio or video file remains external from the quiz. The file must remain present at the same path on your system when running the quiz. Pictures, sound, and video files, you can set custom properties by adding them in curly brackets after the file path. Examples of properties are the border color for a picture, the volume of a sound, and the start at time of a video. You can see an example of all the properties by hovering over sound, video, or a picture column. Here are some examples. You can optionally set the background image of the slide in the background column. This column behaves the same way as the pictures columns. On the seemingly empty columns on the far right, you can set additional optional parameters. To access these, hover on the top cell in the column and click on the arrow. You can now select a parameter from the drop-down list. These include some helpful properties like the style and answer time of a slide. When you are importing a trivia feud round, it is important to set the 7th and 8th answers, A7 and A8, of your trivia feud board here. Select Style if you want to change the style. You can find the name of a style in Quiz Express Studio. Go to the Design tab of Quiz Express Studio, press the drop-down button of the Style section and hover over your preferred style. You can see the name of the style and type it into the Style column. The layout of the question is automatically chosen depending on the filled-in columns. On the bottom of the worksheet, you can see that we are currently modifying the Round 1 worksheet. You can create more rounds by adding more worksheets to the Excel workbook. A worksheet named Round 2 exists by default. A billboard slide with the name of your worksheet as its title will be imported for every worksheet. If you leave a worksheet empty, it will not import. To import an Excel file, first open Quiz Express Studio. Go to File, then to Import, and press Import from Excel. Select your Excel file and it will be imported into Quiz Express Studio. Here I import a part of the example quiz. For reference, here is what the Excel worksheet looks like. Now you know how to import quizzes using Excel files. Happy quizzing!